Hello guys, hello Tigers, and welcome back to the Database Systems course. This is Nazar with you from A to Z for Learning channel. Today we will move forward to the next lesson in our journey about database system. In this course, as we promised you, we will start from the beginning. So the beginning means you need to know everything about the beginning of these systems. And today we are going to teach you what is the difference between data and information. So today we have data versus information. Some of you will believe data is similar to information. Some of you get some confused about what is the difference between them. Maybe they are similar, maybe they are not. Today we will clear all that meaning. Data is different from information, but data always participate to get information. So what is data and what is information? Data is a row of facts in our data tables. So we have something on the reality. We have something real. For example, if you have like a school and this school has opened many classes. For example, class for C#, class for database, and the class for JavaScript, and so on. Now, the manager of this school asks you, okay, tell us about the number of the students who has enrolled in the C# class and in the database class. Of course, you will say, I don't know, because you have nothing and you didn't know about database. And we will help you to get answer. At the beginning, we will create a survey. For example, if we have like 1,000 students in these courses, and we need to know about these courses. So first step, we need to get data. We need to know who is the students that enrolled in these classes. So we will make a survey, and we will ask students to put their names and to put a sign in front of the classes that they are enrolled. Now, this row, for example, for John has enrolled in C# and database classes. So, John will sign in front of C# and database class. This row of facts called data. And data doesn't have any meaning. It's just data. Okay, I know now John has enrolled in C# and database classes, but I don't know how many students do I have in database and C# classes, and I need to know. So we will move forward to the next step. We will process these data. Then we will get the information. So the information is a processed data. We will do some processing steps on these data to convert it from data to information. In this way, our data has participated in getting our information. For example, we get the data about the classes, and now we have the survey that contains everything. Every student has put his signs in front of the classes that he has enrolled. And we need to store this data, and we have stored. Now we need to move forward and process these data to get information. At the beginning, we will do ordering and then summation to know how many students enrolled in each class. Now you are happy, and you will go to your manager and tell him, yes, I know how many students has enrolled in C# and the database class, and your manager is happy from you because you have answered his questions and you deserved your salary and your bonus. Now we have learned about data and information. There is a new concept in database, which is the context. Your data should organized in a very correct context, and your data should have a context. The context is the name of your data. For example, if every student put his signs in front of the classes, that they are enrolled, but you didn't put in your database the name of your columns. So when you will make the summation, you will get the numbers, but you will not know these numbers to whom. So we need to put a clear context for our data, which is, for example, the column names. Also, there is another concept here in the database, which is the format. We need to put our data in a specific format and in a correct format, because if your data has put in a very different format, that will make it very difficult on you to organize these data and to process these data. For example, if we let every student to put as he wish to express his enrollment or disenrollment for the classes, some of them will put for you a sign, some of them will put for you the capital Y, some of them will put for you the word yes, some of them will put for you enrolled or not enrolled. So you get many different ways to express the enrollment status. When you will want to organize and order these data to make some processing on these data, it will be very difficult on you. So you need to get a very specific format. For example, we will ask the students to put a capital Y for the class that they has enrolled, and they should put a capital N for the classes that they hasn't enrolled yet. In this way, we have one format for our data, and it's easy for you to make a processing on this data. Another concept for data and information. You need to make a decision against some classes. For example, if we have opened like 20 classes and half of these classes didn't attract students to enroll in these classes, so we need to make a decision. We need our data, and from data we need our information to build our decision on this data. So the new concepts about data and information, the time. Your data should be in at the time, because you cannot make your decision according to a data from last year's. You need new information to make your decision now. So we need to get a new data and we need to get a new information so as to take a new decision, and we need to make a new decision about these classes. Also, there is something called relevance, which is a new concept about database. For example, if we have information, if you have data about C#, you cannot use these data to make a decision about a database class, because these data and this information for C# class. So we need to get a relevant data so as to make a decision against a database class. All these concepts, you have to know about them. You have to put them in your mind. And we will teach you how to deal with that. Now, let us summarize for you what we have learned from this lesson. First of all, data, it's a row of facts that hasn't processed yet. Then, data will participate to get information from the data. So, we always get information from data. If there is no data, there is no information. And the opposite is not correct, because if there is no information, we still have a data. Also, your data should have a context, a clear context, so as to know when you will get some information, you need to know about this information and about the context, the correct context for this data and for this information. Another things or another concepts, we have learned about the time and the relevance. Another concept is the format. Your data should put in a very specific format, because putting your data in a specific format will make it easy on you to make a processing and to do what you have to do to get your information from that data. Otherwise, it will be very difficult, and it will be your responsibility. To reformat these data, which is very hard. Maybe in 100 or 200 records, it's very easy process. But with 10 million records, it's impossible process. You cannot do it, and nobody can do it. So you have to be careful about the format of your data. Next concept that we have learned, we need to get timely data, and we need to get accurate data, and we need to get relevant data so as to make our decision. Making a new decision and making the correct decision about the lessons that didn't attract many students to enroll in these lessons will survive you in the business environment. Otherwise, you will fail and you will lose your business because you need to make a decision against these classes. So be careful, and you need to make the correct decision against these classes. Now, we have learned many things from this lesson. As we always say, if you like it, don't forget, share it, subscribe, and stick with us for next lesson, and we will see you. Don't go far from us. Goodbye.